Any godkids? Awesome. Any godkids, stepkids, adopted kids, nieces, nephews, right? All of the above. Kanisha said all of the above. All righty, right? That's amazing. It's a blessing, but they come with a lot of responsibilities, at least financially, right? They're not cheap to raise. So I want to open up by asking you guys a couple of questions. Um, and you know what? Before I do that, let me just introduce myself in case some of you are new, first time here and not familiar with me. So my name is Odetta King. I am a senior marketing director with World Financial Group. We do these webinars every week on Zoom. And the whole goal is to really educate our community because a lot of this information, many of us were not privy. And now that we know about it, we're making sure that we tell everybody because we're late. But for some people, it's not late for them. So I am the proud author of 4 personal finance books. The first one was written. It's called If You Win Stacking, You're Dropping Your Coins. I just got a really nice email today. Last year, October, I did I did a career seminar. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something for kids at a charter school here in Brooklyn. And one of my friends, who is also an alumni at NYU, we went to school together. He said, "Hey, Odetta, I'm in charge of this financial program at my school, and I'd love for you to come in and talk to the students, maybe do a class." So I said, okay. And I went. And one of the things that they also asked is because I have 4 books, they asked if I could donate a couple of books. And I said, yes. So I ended up donating. If you win stacking, you're dropping. And as a thank you, they reviewed the book. I forgot about it because that was since October last year. Well, they sent me an email today on, what the students did with, they read the book and they had to give their feedback. And it was really, really nice, a review that they did on the book. And it just goes to show that the work that you do today, sometimes you may not see the benefit right away, but just know that we're planting seeds. And If You In Stacking is a personal finance book from a friend to a friend, covering everything from budget, saving, all the way to you got a lot of money and you got to protect your money because when the good Lord calls us yonder, everything is going to the right people and there's no squabble and no court involved. Right. And then my second book is This Is Why You're Broke. And it's really telling us, why we're broke when it comes to what we're doing with our finances. Then the third book is Let's Get Rich. This is a journal planner giving you a step by step every month. What are some things we should be focusing on? Because I realize that some people, they need that hand holding, right? And finance is not just a one time thing, it's an ongoing thing, right? And then my last book, Playground Millionaire, this is the one that got the most traction. And I don't know why, but I never thought of writing a kid book. But I do so much with schools here in the New York area that about 2 years ago, one of the schools that I was doing a career session at, they asked me if I ever thought about doing a kids book. And I said, I thought about it, but never really went around to doing it. So sometimes you see when you do free stuff, right? All these free career, free counseling, free sessions, you just never know how it's going to come back to you tenfold. Because one of the teachers pulled me aside and she said, you should really do this because you're really good at disseminating this information with the kids. And I said, okay. I went home the same night. And one of my students at St. John University, where I teach, Gianna, oh my God, that girl is probably sneezing. I always talk about her. She ended up, I sent her the content and she pretty much pulled it together. So Playground Millionaire is really a 3-step approach, how to literally set your kids up for college and beyond college, right? Because would you guys agree that most of us were just setting our kids up for college and then the buck stops, right? We do college and then they're like, okay, you're on your own, go figure it out, right? You're on your own, go figure it out now. Well, we want to change that, right? For those who want to go that extra mile, I want to show you what are some things that you guys can do. So I want this to be participate. I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions and just go ahead and put it in the chat. How many of you, because I love to poll this, how many of you, when you were little or at birth, your parents started saving for you from birth? Put in the chat. Was that you? Yes, no? Did your parents start saving for you from birth? From birth. Anybody from birth? Anybody? Nope, 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 nobody, right? Including myself, right? They did not start when we were born, okay? So the next question is, how many of you, your parents saved money for college? So when you were ready to go off to college, the money was there, right? College. How many of us for college, right? You were ready to go to college and they say, hey, Delnick, I got you. Whichever school you want to go to, I got you. How about you, Vincent? Your parents said, you know what? I got you. Whatever school you want to go to, I got you. We're going to college. We're going to college, right? Anybody, their parents was saving for college. I was lucky to get top. So top, you got top. That's good, right? But did your parents top it up, right? So same thing with me. Again, all of us, most of us, I would say, are immigrant. We didn't do this. My parents didn't give me any money to go to NYU. They didn't give me any money to go to Kingsborough. Like it was the government chipping in, and then me working the rest. Third question: how many of you, when you graduated, so you found money for college, you winged it however you wing it, now you're done with college and maybe you wanted to start a business? How many of you, again, your parents had money set aside and then you said, hey, mom, hey, dad, I want to start this business, but I'm short of a little 20 grand. Can you help me out? I want to get this business going. I want to get this business going, dad. Can you help me, auntie? Can you help me, mom? Who had money for a business? Anybody, right? Anybody, money for a business. My cousin the other day, he sent out, like, he's starting some tech stuff, right? And he sent out like a group text to the family saying, hey, I want to start this business. I'm short. I need some money. Can anybody help me out? Well, it was cricket. Okay. It was cricket. Okay. And even though some of us helped him, it still was not enough to do what he wanted. So the next question, because it looks like nobody ain't got nothing so far, right? We ain't get nothing. Next question, right? How many of you, when you were ready to buy your first house, again, you went to Pops and say, hey, Pops, you didn't help me with the college. You didn't help me with, starting this business. But guess what? I'm ready to buy this nice house and it's a 2-family in Brooklyn. And, I'm short with my down payment. Can you help me with the down payment? How many of you also got help with your purchase for your home? My nanny helped me with closing. Oh, that's so nice. Your nanny helped you with closing costs. Wow. Okay. Anybody got help with home purchase? Home purchase. Parents were dead. Okay, sorry to hear that. So that's a no also. All right. And then the last question is the wedding. Guys, you notice these are all fun, major life events? You notice, right? I'm giving you the fun stuff. These are all fun, major life events. So the wedding, the big day's here, and you getting married, right? Who helped you with your wedding? Michelle said, my mama paid for me to go to the catering school. Oh, that's good. That's good, right? That's nice. All right. So anybody with the wedding, who got some wedding gifts money? Anybody with the wedding? No wedding either? Oh, you did. Okay, good. Guys, so out of 15 of us on this Zoom, right? From the chat, you could see the percentages overwhelming that not a lot of us got anything really in those categories. And these are all major milestones. But guess what? I got good news for y'all. The bucks stop here with us. We are going to rewrite this story now. We are going to rewrite it now where we're going to put things in place for the next generation, whether that be your kids if they're young. I saw somebody said they got a 3-month-old, somebody got a 12-month-old, a 12-year-old. The buck stopped here. Maybe none of us got it, but now we can change the writing. Now we're going to make it better. right? Because we can do this now. Now we know the information. Now we're empowered. Now we're on this Zoom. We can all change that narratives, right? The buck stop here. No more excuse after today because we could change it right now. And with that being said, I want to officially start today's presentation. Guys, you see how important it is. If all of those questions that I ask you, if all of those questions had gotten a yes, how would your life have turned out? If you had money to help you for your wedding, if you had money to help you with a car, money to help you for a business, money to help you for down payment of home, money to help you for school, how do you think your life would have been financially? What do you guys think? If you had these things, right? Life, I think we can all agree, life would have been a lot better, at least financially, right? You wouldn't have struggled so much to make ends meet. It would have been better, right? So now we're going to talk about how we can make that better for the next generation, for your kids and your grandkids, right? Or if you ain't got no kids like me, for your nieces and your nephews, right? We're going to move from piggy bank to Playground Millionaire because we know we're saving money. We know we putting money in the bank. We know we putting money in the susu. We know we putting money in the piggy bank. We know we putting money in our jobs, 401k, IRA, and all that good stuff, right? We are doing those things. So let's talk about what are some popular child savings accounts. We all know the 529, right? And of course, the good old bank. So these are typically two accounts that most people are saving money for their kids. So let's start with the 529. Yes, we're saving money. It's always good saving money. But what are some drawbacks or some disadvantages with a 529? Go ahead and put it in the chat. What do you guys think are some disadvantages with the 529? What are some disadvantages? Let's see. It's only for college, correct? So if your child decides they don't want to go to college, oh, wow, we got some issues going on, right? Because if they don't want to go to college, now you're going to incur a 10% penalty, right? Because you're going to spend this money, but not for college. You get a 10% penalty, and now you have to pay income tax. So that's not a good thing. But what if I tell you there's an account where you could use the money for anything, not just college? Miss Helen said they do not get FAFSA. That is correct. When you're ready to apply for financial aid, the FAFSA application, we, the faculty, the administrators, right? Once on that financial aid form application, it's gonna have a box that says 529 bank account. The minute you check off those accounts, now we're gonna factor in those numbers, how much you got in your 529, how much you got in your bank account, and we're gonna recalculate, right? And 9 out of 10 times, the conversation is gonna go like this: use your money. Use your money. You save, use your money, right? So now we don't give you no money because you got money. Why would we give you money if you already got money? So we're not going to give you no money. We're going to tell you use your money first. Once that's depleted, then maybe next year, come back and file financial aid. And at that point, we'll look at your numbers again, right? Also, it may not be, thanks, Miss Helen. Also, it may not be transferable to other states. So like my nieces and nephews, they were all born in New York, but now they're living in Georgia. My other cousin who was born in New York, now they're talking about moving to Vegas. So some of these accounts may or may not be transferable. And again, we don't know what we don't know. And we don't think about these things because we don't think you're going to move in 20, 15 years, right? So you're not going to necessarily think about that at the point when you're starting to save for your kids. But down the road, life may happen and then you may end up moving out of state, right? So with these 529, some depending on the fine print, you may have to ask, hey, if I move to Georgia, am I going to be able to use this money at a Georgia school, right? 9 out of 10 times it's not transferable, and people don't know this, and they're not going to tell you and I this, because if we tell you it, you're not going to get it, right? So they don't tell us these things, right? Okay, what else do we have that's against the 529? I mean, guys, don't get me wrong. 529 is good to an extent. It's always good to save money, but there are better options. That all of these things you guys are listed, we don't have to deal with it with the other options. Anybody else? Because there's a couple of more. So we said the assets has to be disclosed on FAFSA, which is going to disqualify you, right? You have to use it for school. If you don't go to school, now you get hit with penalties and fees and have to pay the taxes. But what about the stock market? Does the stock market ever go down? So what if your child was scheduled to go to college in the year 2020, COVID years, or the year 2008, the dot-com crash, the real estate bubble, right? Or what if your child is scheduled to go to college in the year 2035? Do we know what's going to happen in the year 2035? We don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. The stock market is going to do whatever it's going to do. So if you have money in the 529, that money is directly invested in the stock market, and we're gambling. Yes, we could have more, but there's a possibility that we could also have less, right? So if you have a 529, you have to make sure, please stop funding it. You know why? The bigger you make that account, you ain't getting no money, and all of these things we're talking about, you're gonna have to deal with it at that point in the future, right? You ain't gonna get no money. The more money you show us, you're literally disqualifying yourself from getting any free money. Guys, and I can tell you firsthand, NYU got a lot of money. St. John got a lot of money. These universities have big donors. For tax purposes, for tax write-off, they'd rather donate the money and get a tax deduction, right? So all the Ivy League schools have big donors, right? Money to give away. It's a tax write-off for them, right? So if you come with your little 40, 50, 60 grand, well, you ain't gonna get no money because you show us you got money, right? You showed us you got money. So why would we give you? No, we're not gonna give you. We're not. We're not gonna give you any money. We're gonna keep that and give it to the next child who shows they ain't got nothing. But really and truly, if they're our clients, their kids stacking. Their kids are stacking, right? They just know where to save the money, and their kids got the money, right? So, guys, you see, it's not just about saving money, it's about saving money smart where you're getting the most bang for your buck. So, yes, college is important, but there's so much more beyond college. Like I just asked you guys all of those questions that we opened up with, right? What about when your child's ready to buy their first car? What about when they're ready to get married, or when they're ready to buy a house, become a first-time homeowner, right? Or what about when they get kids and now you're a grandma, you're a grandpa, right? Grandparents love their grandbabies. They may not get along with their kids. The kids may get on their last nerve, but once those little 10 fingers and toes are born, it's a whole new love all over again, right? And what if they want to start a business? Well, we got the money now, right? If they say, hey, Dad, I want to start this business and I'm short 10 grand. Can you help me? Of course I can help you, right? Instead of going and put yourself in more debt, going to the bank and borrowing a loan at 8%, 9%, 10%. No, right? So most families are only securing education. But we're going to change that. That's why we're on this Zoom. We're going to set these kids up for a lifetime and not just college time. We're going to map these kids out entire future all the way past retirement and legacy. There is one account, right? We could have one account that's going to be the solution for all of these milestones. Just one account. With one account, your 529 is not going to do it, right? Your 529 is only going to help for college, and then the buck stopped there, right? The buck stopped there after the 529, and college is done. One plan, imagine one plan that's going to take care of all the phases of your life. First stage, we got to fund this account. Guys, you're already funding it. You're saving money in the 529. That's you funding that account, right? So we're going to fund this type of special account that's going to compound. And this stage two, this money can be used for college, business. It can be used for a big purchase item like a car, a house, vacation, right? It can be used for retirement and even legacy, right? A tax-free retirement. Like, imagine if somebody had done this for you. And here is a picture of one of my adorable Playground Millionaire nephews. This is one of my business partner, Myra Arcos. She is a IRS tax advisor, right? And when we showed her this, she's like, Odetta, I'm a tax advisor and I don't even know about it. Sign me up, Odetta. So little Nathan is a Playground Millionaire. And she posted this on her Instagram. And I'm like, girl, I'm going to put this in my presentation. I'm going to be telling everybody about Nathan, right? And she posted on her Instagram page, thanks to mom and dad, Boss Baby is a Playground Millionaire. And he's holding my book right there. He is so happy. He don't even know we mapped out his entire life all the way to when he's a grandpa. And I'm going to show you what we did for him, right? Now, here's a sample client. Someone saving $200 in this account. They start off with 200, but you could always increase, right? So here's a newborn, 1-year-old. Picture on your left, 1-year-old, saving $200 a month, which is $2,400 a year. They do that for the first 2 years. And then on the third year, they increase it to $300 a month. Now that's $3,600 a year. And they increase it again for another 2 years to $400 a month, which is $4,800 a year. They do this all the way to age 17. At 17-year-old, this child is a 6-figure net worth. Excuse me. 6-figure net worth. Guys, how many adults are even earning 6 figures? Think about it. How many adults are even earning 6 figure? And this child, because the mom listened to us, put this plan in place from birth. They're 17, not adult, 17-year-old child net worth is 6 figure. They have $103,578 tax-free in their account. That's a good head start for college. That's a very good head start for college, right? And at age 22, they've got $164,000. Now, here's what the well-to-do. At 17-year-old or 18-year-old, once they start going to college, because they have this money in this account, guess what? FAFSA is going to be approved. Because this account, you don't have to disclose on FAFSA. So they save the money, but just in the right bucket so that they don't have to disclose this bucket. And now let's say they have to take student loan. Well, it's better to take student loan at maybe 2 or 3 or 4% and let this money keep compounding at 9, 10, 11%. That's how you leverage your money. You leverage this money here so that you get in the higher interest. And I'm okay with taking a student loan at 3%. So when I graduate at age 22, I have $164,000. And yes, I could pay back any student loan if I have incurred any. But again, I'm starting off with a bang because I'm starting off with some money that the school is going to give me. Because I ain't showed them I got no money. You see? You see what's going on here? From day one, we're setting them up to get free money. because we ain't showing that we have any money because we're saving the money smart. What I realize in this business is not just about saving money. We got to save the money smart, right? And whatever happened with the stock market at age 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, who cares? We are losing no money because this account is risk-free and tax-free. And if little boy decides he doesn't want to go to college, guess what? Who cares? There's no penalty. If he decides he wants to move to Georgia, who cares? This money goes wherever we go. There's no penalty, right? Now we keep saving this 4,800 all the way to age 48. To God be the glory. Look at age 48. This is what we call it, Playground Millionaire. A Playground Millionaire is someone who has a special index account, which is a 7702 IRS account that says the account is tax-free and it is risk-free. And that is how we control our future financially. Because there's a lot of 48-year-old that might be walking around and yes, they may worth $1 million, or their house is worth $1 million, or maybe their 401k got $1 million, but it's not tax-free. It's not tax-free. And it's also not risk-free because the stock market would wipe some of that out. And when they sell the house for $1 million, they got to pay capital gain taxes. So a Playground Millionaire is someone that has a special type of index account, which is a 7702 IRS account that is risk-free and tax-free. So now these kids don't have to wait until their 60s to retire. Retirement has nothing to do with age. That's another thing that fooled us. Retirement has everything to do with how much money you got. Because if you got over $1 million, do you really need to keep working? You could retire whenever you want to retire. You don't have to wait until 65 or 68 or whatever the standards are. No, retirement has everything to do with money. How much money you got that can sustain you for the rest of your life where you don't have to work. Right? Where you don't have to work. Now, if our parents knew this information and I had put something like this in place for us, guys, I'm telling you, none of us wouldn't be on this Zoom right now because we would have been good. We would have been extra good. We would have had money for the house. We would have had money to pay off for college. Some of us, they had to go to that deadbeat job that we hate so much, but we got to go because we need the money. We would have had choices, right? Oh my God, this is why I'm passionate about teaching this to everybody. This is why I want to be in every school to tell every parent this is what we need to do, not the 529. The 529 will have us broke. This is why I wrote my third book. This is why you broke. The 529 will have us broke because you could got $500,000 today, and how much you gonna have at 2034? How much you gonna have when you're ready to go to college? How much you gonna have when you retire? We don't know. Right? Now, here's the same example, right? Now at age, oh my God, at age 71, right? We can take out a tax-free income every year from age 71, almost $250,000. This stuff is powerful. We set this up from birth. That's why every baby, when I go to a baby shower today, I want to just pull the mom aside and say, listen, see all these gift cards you just got? See all this money you just got? Let's make sure we talk next week. Before this baby is born, you need to know this information. So as soon as you pop out that baby and we get that social security card, this is what we need to do for your baby boy and baby girl. This is the best gift. Don't worry with all those fancy things, the crib, the designer clothes. All that stuff is going to be garbage in a couple of years. We're not even going to find these things in a couple of years. But this is going to stand the test of time for years to come. And not just for them, but by default, their kids. right? So now this child who is a grandpa can take out almost $250,000 tax free from age 71 all the way to age 90 or even longer if he keeps living. And let's say they pass away at age 100. Guys, if they pass away at age 100, they still leave behind 326,000 legacy. This is the legacy money. This is the money that the Bible talks about. When the Bible say a good man leaves an inheritance for their children, children, children. If we all had a great, 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 great somebody who had left something for us before we were even born, we all would have been better today. Because number one, we would have had choices, right? So here's an account summary. The parents put in over those years, we started off with 2, then we bump it up to 3, then we bump it up to 4. We did gradual bumps because guess what? The more money you make, the more money you should save. The more money we make, the more money we should save. And because they're little, they're going to get money for birthdays. They're going to get money for graduation. They're going to get money for Christmas. They're going to get money for Easter. They're going to get money for all these milestones because they're kids. Guys, now that I do this business, my nieces and nephews for Christmas, for birthdays, I don't do those crap that I used to do anymore. It's strategic now. I may sell them, let's say $100. $100 goes into your account, this particular account that I'm talking about, right? And then maybe I give them $50 to go buy crap or whatever they need to do, right? Because at the end of the day, we're human beings. We're going to buy nice stuff, go eat, hang out with our friends, whatever. But part of their gift is cash to go into this account. We give smart gifts around here. We give smart gifts around here because of this information that I learned here, right? So the parents save over time $325,000 that grew into a tax-free retirement income that's going to pay out $7 million. You can never get this with a 529. Guys, I need to be on national TV. Y'all help me be on national TV because everybody needs to know this stuff. Everybody needs to know this stuff. It is the secret of the wealthy that we're trying to make mainstream for everybody to know, right? And then they still leave a legacy money of $326,000 at age 100. So the total value is over 7.6 million. Well, you only invested 325. It's mind-blowing. This is how wealthy people are staying wealthy for generations. We're saving money, but we got to save the money smart. We got to save the money where we're leveraging, where we're getting more bang for our buck, where you're controlling your future, where you're not losing money, right? And along the way, if life happens, if we get sick, if we die prematurely, because the last column is the benefit column, that's going to pay out too, right? That's going to pay out. But guys, the parents owns this account. So at the end of the day, this is the parents' money. Because if the parents decide, you know what, you're 22 and you're not doing what I want you to do, you're not listening to me, you don't want to go to school, you just want to hang out and chase girls, it's mama's money. It's dad's money. We don't have to give it to them if we don't want to. So this is a win-win either way. You saving for your kids, but at the end of the day, it's your money. If your kids turn out to be financially successful like I am, I tell people all the time, this money could have been my parents' retirement money. They didn't have to give it to me. They could be like, oh, Daddy, you're doing good. You don't need a lot of help financially. So you know what? That account I opened for you, I'm going to keep some of this money for myself because I need it for my retirement. I need to go on a couple of nice cruises. You're doing good, Odetta. You don't need all this money, right? And I can't be mad with them. It's their money. So it's a win-win. You saving for your kids, but at the end of the day, you don't have to give it to your kids. Now let's look at another sample One of my upper lunch clients that are saying, you know what, Adetta, our kids got to go to medical school. They got to go to law school. They got to, like, we're big on education. So we're going to save $500. From day one, we're going to start off with 500, right? So they do 500 for 2 years, 6,000 a year. And then on the third year, they bump it up because they're making more money. Now they bump it up to $1,000 and they save $12,000 per year, right? All the way to age, let's say, go to age 8. At age 8, that child net worth is 111,000. Six figure again. 8 years old. Which 8 years old you and I know that has a six-figure net worth? These kids don't even have 100,000 marbles or 100,000 rocks. Okay. When I was 8 years old, I didn't even had 100,000 rocks. I had 100,000 nothing to my name. Nothing. Right? Not even 100 pints of broom. Right? Nothing 100 with my name at 8 years old. This is the power of these accounts. And people who understand it, they don't put the least, they try to put the most because it's tax-free money and it's risk-free. Now, yes, start with whatever you can, but you want to increase, right? And now at 22, guess what? So they save 12,000 and then they increase some more to 18,000 per year. And they do this all the way to age 22. And then they stop. They stop funding the account. So they put a lot of money up front and then they stop. Man, and it's a beautiful thing. Oh, why is people calling me? Don't they know I have my webinar on Wednesdays? And then they stop, right? So now look at this. Maybe they took some money out to pay for school because again, these families, they know their kids got to go to high level education schools because they got to be doctors, lawyers, or whatever that's going to require a special degree. So they take some money out for college to pay off any loan. And then at 33, now they're ready to buy a house. They take out 75,000 for a down payment of a house. 75,000. But guys, if you notice, all zeros, right? This column, this is premium outlay, all zeros. So they're not even funding the account anymore. They stop funding the account at age 22. They stop. So they put a lot of money up front and then they stop. And then there's going to be some families that's not going to put a lot of money, but they're going to put maybe average and they're going to fund it a little longer, right? So these plans can be customized based on how much you can afford. I'm Guyanese. I love to say we're not going to hang our hat where we can't reach it. So do what you can afford and then gradually increase as you make more money, right? So here's the summary. At age 70, OMG, they got $7.9 million. You will never, 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 ever see this with money invested in the stock market, and certainly not a 529. Certainly not the bank account. And this is what 90% of America is doing for their kids. This is why we are broke. This is why I wrote my third book. This is why you are broke. Because the information that we were fed, how is that working out? When we look around and see all of our kids are in student loan debt, we're struggling to pay the mortgage, we're struggling to borrow money to start a business. Like, no, we ain't got no leg up. And now at age 70, holy moly, look at how much money they're taking out for retirement income. 453,000 per year. You see why the rich is getting richer? They know something that the majority of us don't know. But now that we know this information, we're spreading it like wildfire. And then at age 100, let's say they pass away at age 100, OMG. So they take out money for everything. They took out money for college. They took out money for wedding. They took out money for down payment of a house. They took out money for retirement. And they still are going to die and leave $1.3 million. Who fooled us? Who scammed us? Who robbed us? They not only robbed us, but they robbed our generation too. Think about it. They did a good one on all of us. They not only scammed you and I, but they scammed our future generation. They not only scammed my mom, but they scammed me by default too. But the buck stopped here. Because now that I know this, everybody in my family having this plan. My aunt is doing this business with me, and we making sure everybody knows about this. The only people who don't got it is if they can't get it because their health is not the best. The buck stopped now because we know this. We're like the Black Rockefellers. The Rockefellers did this, and we're gonna do it for our generation too. So, summary: the parents put in 360,000 over the years, from day 1 to age 22, and they stopped. And the money just kept compounding. They took out 120,000 for student loan to pay back. They took out money for down payment of a house, 75,000. They took out 13,600,000 tax-free income. And then when they die, they still left over $1 million. Who did this to us? Who did it to us? Well, society did it to us. That's how the system is set up. Because as long as you and I don't know this information, guess who's making money off of us? Who's making money off of us? As long as we don't know this, who is making money off of us? Who's making money off of us? As long as you and I don't know this information, who is making money off of us? Why is it not in their best interest to educate you and I about this account? Put it in the chat. What do you guys think? As long as you and I don't know, who's making money off of us? Because that's why we don't know. That's why we don't know this information. Because as long as you and I don't know it, they're making money off of us. The government is going to tax this money if we put it in other vehicles. They're the one going to tax that money. The stock market is going to charge us fees to manage the IRAs, the 529. So they're making money off of us, whether you make money or lose money. Whether you make money or lose money in the stock market, somebody got to get paid for managing that account. So as long as you and I don't know, they're making money. As long as you and I don't know, your kids is going to sign up for financial aid and they're not going to get a lot of money because they got a 529. And then they're going to be given credit card. And then when they're ready to buy their house, they're going to get a mortgage the size of 8, 9, 10% or 6% or whatever. And now the bank is making money off of that mortgage loan. And then you're ready to start your business and you ain't got this money here. And now you go borrow money again. So as long as you and I don't know, society is set up to make money off of us. So it's not in their best interest to tell us or to educate us. So again, it's not about saving money. And every day I hear people telling me, oh, Dad, I'm good, I'm saving money. Well, saving money is part of the equation. Yes, we have to save money. But this is about saving money smart. This is about saving money tax-free. Because let me ask you guys, do you guys think tax is going to go up or down in the future? Up or down? What do you guys think? Is tax going to go up or down? And if you're saying, or if you're like, well, I don't know, I think it's going to go down, right? Who thinks it's going to go down? Who thinks it's going to go down? Well, I mean, we could tell right now what's happening because the tariffs are here, right? There's a tariff war right now that's trying to be passed. But for the folks that's going to say, well, that I think taxes is going to go down, well, all I got to do is tell you go to this website. Just go to this website, usdebtclock.org. This is tracking the debt, the US debt. And the US debt is $36 trillion. The country is broke. When I tell y'all we broke, we broke. The country is broke. We got 36 trillion in debt and the revenue is only 5. Make sense out of nonsense here. We take it in 5 trillion, but we owe 36 trillion. The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. You take it in 5, but you owe 36. When you gonna ever pay off this 36? When you gonna catch up to pay this 36? And even when you pay off this 36, you even now. Where's the extra? There's no extra. So all forms of taxes will have to increase. And if tax is going to increase, why would you want to put your money in a bucket where you're going to pay a lot of taxes in the future? Your 401ks, they're going to get you. Your IRA, they're going to get you. Your 403b, they're going to get you. Your TSP, they're going to get you. So now that you know this information, what do I do with that? You want to diversify your account. You put enough to get the match. It's not about finding more money. It's about saving money smart. You put money in accounts. If your job is matching, take the match, but don't put a penny above the match. If your job is matching 5%, put whatever you need to get that 5%. The difference, you're going to put in this special account, which you have to qualify for, right? So it's not about saving money, or it's not about even saving more money. It's about saving smart and repositioning the money from one pocket to the other pocket, because the one pocket right now has holes. Those holes are taxes and stock market risk. But when you move the money from one pocket and put it into the other pocket that has no holes, you keep in more money. The money's not slipping out, right? So it's about saving money smart, tax-free, risk-free, and controlling your financial future. Leveraging your money for a lifetime and not just for college time, right? So now let's see if you qualify, because as much as it sounds great, not everybody's going to get this account. Not everybody's going to get approved for this account. You have to be approved. And what do I mean by approved? The company got to check you out. It's not if you want it, it's if they want to give it to you. The company got to check you out. They want to make sure, number one, you're healthy. They want to make sure you're legally here. They want to make sure you don't have no criminal records. They want to make sure you ain't got no DUI and reckless driving records and license suspended and license. No, they got to check you out. So anybody on this call that has this 7702 special account, it is a big deal. You're ahead of the curve, because number one, you saving money the smart way. You saving money tax-free, you saving money risk-free, and you controlling your future. Now it's just a matter of how you're going to fund it. You set this up for your 3-month-old. I promise you, your 3-month-old is going to be better than you and me. You don't know how much money I got. I don't know how much money you got, but I'm telling you, you set this up for your 3-month-old and you fund this account like what I just showed you, your child's going to be a millionaire in their 40s or early, or even their 50s, tax-free. The buck stop here. So how much would you like to start saving for your child and yourself? Because you remember, I say you might save this for your child, but you ain't got to give the money to your child. Or maybe your child is doing well financially in their adult life, and you ain't got to give them all the money. You could bless them with some or bless them with none, right? It's your money. So you set this up for yourself and your child. And by default, you're also setting things up for the next generation that are not even born, because this account has a legacy component. So if I were to drop dead today, 3.5 million just alone from my account will pass down to the next generation. That is life changing because my parents had never even made six figures and they've been in this country for 40 something years. So this account is a blessing. Okay. So in closing, it is now 8:31. Please, 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 the person who invited you, get back in touch with them as soon as we hang up. Say, hey, I want to get this thing started. I love what I heard. Or if you have any questions, we can take your questions when we set up a one-on-one with you. And again, with the person who invited you. Or you could shoot us a text message, 973-842-7927. Let us know who invited you. Or the best thing is just call the person who invited you and say, hey, I was on that webinar. I have some questions, or it sounds good, or whatever you want to say, but do not overthink this stuff. Because if you ain't got nothing like this is not something to think about. If you ain't got nothing that's gonna give you tax free, you ain't got nothing that's gonna grow your money guaranteed. You ain't got nothing that's gonna leave a legacy. You ain't got nothing that's gonna pay out when you get sick. What you comparing it to? Your 401k? 529? Money in the bank? It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, guys. There's nothing to compare this to, right? And I'm not just telling you to get this. I have this for myself, right? I have this plan for myself. My nieces and nephew have this plan for myself. My cousins, my aunt, right? We all have a plan like this. The ones that are healthy, of course, because you got to be healthy. If you're not healthy, you can't get this account, right? So we do these webinars every Wednesday, and the topic is different. Tonight, we just happen to focus on kids, right? Setting kids up to be playground millionaires. And I want to go over a couple of events we have coming up so that you guys know that you can absolutely stay in touch with us. Tomorrow, so excited. Let me share this. Tomorrow at 9 p.m., right? If you are a mom, this is for you. Tomorrow, we're going to have Sarah Collins, who is she used to be a Chick-fil-A corporate exec many, many years ago. She's with our firm now going on 20 years. We had Miss Myra Arcos. She's the one whose baby I just showed you in my presentation. She is our tax advisor and guru, right? And then we have the lovely Jerica. These three amazing ladies is going to show us, ladies, especially if you're a mom, right? It's going to be moms and money and showing us how we can control our money, right? So again, this is going to happen tomorrow, Thursday, 9 p.m. Get in touch with the person who invited you. They can register you for the link. We also have, if you live in the New York area, right? We have a youth conference coming up in June 18th to the 20th. And it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Guys, I told you I do a lot with schools, right? So I'm going to be one of the workshop presenters, panelists. We're going to be teaching these kids about, they're about 17, 18 years old. We're going to be teaching them. Well, my part is I'm going to be talking about business and finance. So this is free. It's open to the public. Take a screenshot, share the flyer with anyone that you know have kids, right? 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is going to happen next month, June 18th to the 20th. And then, right, we have our Coins and Conversation pop-up shop, which is going to be this month, May 31st. So what's a pop-up shop? Well, there's going to be about 12 vendors, and the vendors range anywhere from, of course, my whole team and I, the financial suite. We have the lovely Imara, who's going to be doing taxes, well, talking and helping you guys with taxes, registering your business if you have a business. We have attorney Yvette Clark, who's going to talk about, Yvette Stewart, who's going to talk about wills and trusts, right? And then we have a lot of our vendors that are business owners. They have things from health and wellness, clothing, accessories, rum punch, event decorator, food, culinary, catering. Man, it's going to be amazing. Okay. So this is free. It's open to the public. Saturday, May 31st at our office right here in Brooklyn, New York. And it's kids friendly, right? So you can bring your kids, come hang out with us, vibes, eat, drink, shop, conversation, all that good stuff, right? So again, you could take a screenshot, right, of the flyer, and the address is 2174 Nostrand Avenue, Flatbush Junction, and it starts at 3 p.m. until. So even if you got to work, you could come there 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, right? So, and then I do have one other thing I want to share with you guys. We have a tour coming up, which is going to be next week, Sunday, May 18th, in Newark, New Jersey, at the Hilton Newark. And this is our financial tour, right? So we're going around from city to city. So the closest one for us is going to be in New Jersey. And again, the person who invited you to this webinar, we would love to have you guys come out and learn how to win the money game. So Jonathan Marion, he's flying in from California. He makes almost 1.9, almost $2 million, 1.9 to be exact. And then we have my Alma Cantarero, who is a single mom. She makes $500,000. And these guys, their stories are remarkable. Like, I mean, all the odds were against them. But when you're hungry to change your life, you push through all those adversities, right? So again, we'd love to have you. This is going to be in English, starts at 10 a.m. And then we have a Spanish version that's going to start at 1 p.m. next Sunday, May 18, at the Hilton Newark Airport. I think that is all. And if anybody has any question, I can probably take one or two. If not, just connect back with the person who invited you. And we'll see you again next Wednesday on our Money Mastery series. As long as you register once, you never have to register again. It's the same link. So you'll just get a reminder to come back up, and you could also send that link to others to join us. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you guys either on a one-on-one. You could schedule a one-on-one to be on a Zoom with us, or have a phone conversation, or you can make an appointment to come in the office. Thank you guys so much.